Welcome back to another basketball edition of the Adrienne Ross Show. I want to talk about Saturday. On Saturday, the Indiana Fever is back, and they're taking on Cheryl Reeve and her Minnesota Lynx. Now, I'd love to hear what you think will go down in that game, because there are a couple dynamics in the game. Actually, there are more than a couple, a few dynamics. So hang with me throughout this hopefully short video, and chat it up in the comments and let us know what you think. Before I go into that, though, I want to say make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. We're growing, and I appreciate that. So subscribe, share, and like. All right, now let's get into what I want to talk about today. The Indiana Fever has had a break since Sunday, and they were just coming off the break for the Olympics. So they had 2 games since the Olympics, and obviously they were off for a month for that break, came back, played 2 games, got 2 wins, and then they're off from Sunday to Saturday. That's a long break. There will be some who will say, that's great, they need the break. My concern is that there is such a thing as too much of a break. They needed that month off for sure. The way their season started, not a good setup for them, and we saw that. But then they came back and they're rolling, they're cooking, they're doing the things, right? Then they get 6 days off. So I'm just wondering, because when you're on a wave, when you're riding a wave, when you've got momentum, you want to keep the momentum, which is why good coaches strategically call timeouts. And that's why there are times when they don't call timeouts, right? Because when you're rolling, you want to keep rolling. When the other team is rolling, you want to stop the momentum. And so because of the schedule, there's this 6-day break, which kind of slows the momentum. It's also why you'll see in the playoffs, maybe the NBA playoffs, for example, where a team sweeps another team in a series. It's a 7-game series. They win in 4 games, and they can't play in the next round until the other series is done. And so they're kind of hanging out. And so you have your practices and all that, but it's hard to reproduce a game-like situation. And so a lot of times we say, well, will this break be good for this team that swept in the playoffs, or will this break not be good? And so that's kind of a thought that I have concerning them coming up against Minnesota. Will they show like they've not been playing for a few days, or will they just, this team loves to run? Will they have those fresh legs even again and be able to go? So that's one of the things that I'm going to be looking for Saturday, to see how they come out after having another break. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, and like I said, chat it up there about that. The other thing is, this game against Minnesota is against Cheryl Reeve. So Caitlin Clark's been going through all the people from the Olympics, and beating them. And now she'll face Cheryl Reeve. Fever's already beaten Cheryl Reeve. Remember Cheryl Reeve in her Black Girls Rock t-shirt? Remember Cheryl Reeve saying, I don't give 2, SHITES, so I don't even give 1 about the fans who will show up to support the Fever. You remember that? That Cheryl Reeves, the Olympic coach, Cheryl Reeve. That's who will be, leading Minnesota, obviously, for the game. So there's that whole dimension of, I know she heard what we were hearing throughout the Olympics. People were talking, man, you guys barely won. The first day they go play against Japan, there's a sign that you need Caitlin Clark. So there's all that. And so now Caitlin Clark and them show up again. How will that play out? So that's another dynamic. Another dynamic is the emotional dynamic. This game is it's Maya Moore's jersey retirement ceremony. So the place will have plenty of people there, I imagine. I'm gonna guess it'll be a sellout. Caitlin Clark, of course, was a huge fan of Maya Moore, who went to UConn. So this is the day. So obviously she'll be there and the crowd will be pumped and it's paying honor to Maya Moore. And so whenever you have those kinds of ceremonies before a game, there are a lot of emotions, whether it's the championship ring ceremony or retirement of a jersey ceremony, you've got that whole dynamic going on. So how will Minnesota play after that? How will they be inspired to play after that? And how will the Fever handle all of that? That's key. The other thing is that Minnesota also plays tonight on Friday night. They're playing the Las Vegas Aces, and then they're going to play back-to-back the Indiana Fever. So how will Minnesota do on a back-to-back? So we look at their let's look at their win-loss. Minnesota is currently 20-8. They're 20-8. And they're going to be playing, like I said, Las Vegas. And Las Vegas is 17-10. Las Vegas hasn't been like rolling through folks like people had expected. The back-to-back champions they are. So tonight they take on Minnesota. Minnesota's 20-8. Las Vegas is 17-10. And then Indiana and Minnesota will face off in a back-to-back for Minnesota. The whole Show Reeve dynamic, and the whole jersey retirement dynamic, and of course the whole Olympic coach dynamic. And I almost left this one out, which I started with, and that is the rest that the Fever had, not just with the Olympic break, but now they've been, I don't want to say sitting around, because I'm sure they've been working on some things and hopefully it worked out well for them, but it will be interesting to see how they respond, having had the momentum and then having to stop and wait. And WNBA really needs to look at this schedule. Like, for them to start off the way they did, had all those games for them and the toughest games and all this, and then now they got 6 days to sit around. Like, who made the schedule? So anyway, let us know what you think in the comments about how this will all work out. I'm looking forward to some Fever basketball. I know those of you who frequent the channel, you are too. There are others who come who probably aren't. You're welcome too, as long as you keep it respectful, of course. So again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and God willing, I'll catch you next time. God bless you abundantly.